so wait. Charlie, oh, you're so wait. Charlie, oh, you're so wait. So you challenge Charlotte to a match?
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Talkamania.
It's Rusev Day. Finish with you! That, my friend, is gonna leave a mark. I love black eyes.
Where are you, Dango?
All before you were wearing a training bra.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Talkamania. I'm your host, Desmino, with my tag team partner, J-Bomb. Say hello, J-Bomb.
What's up, man? You know, every time you say another episode, it reminds me of when we were trying to record the commercial for Smart to Death, and we were trying to say I was trying to say podtastic, episodic, weekly. I don't know. I can't even do it now.
Podtastic episodic adventures.
Damn,
You
Des.
gotta focus. You gotta find that chi.
There's certain words that make my brain just fart. That's one of them. How's your week been, man?
Lots of foods that make your body fart.
Tons. How's your week been?
Week's been good. It's been busy. We had Monday off here in Canada. It was Victoria Day. You folks in the U.S., that is Memorial Day coming this Monday. So it was awesome because last week we were like, yeah, we had this holiday. And you guys were like, shit, that sucks. But now we're on the opposite end. We'll be jealous when you guys are off on Monday.
Drink, bitch.
That's what we did.
That's what we did.
Yeah. J-Bomb and I, we synced up with an old buddy of ours, and we went down to, I guess the country, pretty much.
Kemptville, Ontario.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a drive, 2.5 hours for me, and you start getting through these small communities where it's like, you're now entering this town, and then like 2 minutes later, entering this town, 2 minutes later, entering this town. They were so small, the communities, lots of farm fields, about like 6 or 7 houses spaced out within like a mile radius. Really different from the city life that we're accustomed to, but really refreshing, really serene. It was nice. But now we're back to the city and back on the road to Money in the Bank.
Yeah, buddy.
And we've had Raw, we've had SmackDown this week, more, I guess, matches being laid into the card, more people qualifying for the Money in the Bank briefcase, and lots of Roman Reigns. In fact, he was prominent and on your screen for 1/3 of Raw for 1 hour.
Luckily, I missed that first hour. I'm not gonna lie. It was Monday, and I looked at we were off, shitloaded, and I looked out at my phone, and people were talking about Raw, and I was like, what? I totally forgot. So I didn't hop on until Roman was off the screen. So what did I miss?
You missed an hour of Raw.
Yeah, I missed the first hour, like easy. First hour and a bit, I would say.
It's pretty much your usual. Angle comes out, Stephanie comes out, Roman comes out. They're in a debate. Kevin Owens comes out, and they have a match. Roman and Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens sold like a champ. He made Roman look good. He did what he had to do. But it was kind of looking like your typical Roman match, all the spots and stuff.
Yep.
But that ended up branching out into a tag team match. That made the segment go longer. And I guess by the first hour, it's kind of when it wrapped up. And the confusing thing about this was, well, it was a pretty good tag team match, and the ending as well was really, really cool with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. He goes for the curb stomp, but Kevin Owens kind of like rolls away as if he's going to reverse the move, but then he hits it with him right away after. So it looked really good. The finish was great, and then Jinder Mahal coming out with the Beast and taking out Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns with a chair. And then the part that confused me the most, I think, was to end that segment after Jinder Mahal laid his wrath, and he should have been standing tall. He kind of like ran away, and then Roman Reigns kind of gets up with Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns music plays to end the segment. So it should have been Jinder Mahal's, but I guess they still want to give you that damn it. Every week they want you to cheer for Roman Reigns.
Look, if they book Roman Reigns week until Money in the Bank and give him another win, I mean, are they not going to learn?
Well, they're not even going to book him weak. They're going to give him wins.
Well, Jinder got the better piece of him this week, right? You're saying?
Yeah, because they gotta do that. They gotta make it somewhat believable. You never have it's always lopsided. It always kind of goes back and forth into the pay-per-view. Roman Reigns will definitely win this match as well too. The most I'm going to see Jinder Mahal picking up like a win on Raw or something. He'll roll him up or he'll do something to cheat and get a pin on Roman Reigns. They'll probably do that at least.
Well,
but
we saw Roman for the first third of Raw, right? So are we going to make our listeners sit through the first third of Talkamania by talking about Roman Reigns? Or do you want to talk about the greatest segment of all time?
Well, it couldn't have been the segment with Roman Reigns. So what segment are you talking about? The nominee for worst segment of all time?
Dude, greatest segment of all time. Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley, where Bobby beat the shit out of his cross-dressing sisters.
What nerve does this guy have to come out and lay his hands on his own sisters?
Yeah, especially with his mustaches.
This man.
How do you say?
Yeah.
How do you say mustache in plural? Is it mustaches?
Look at their mustaches. Mustaches, I guess it would be.
Sounds weird, right?
Look at their mustache.
Mustache?
Mustache.
I don't know. I love the segment.
If we're wrong and you know the plural of mustache and we're not saying it right, let us know.
Did you enjoy the segment? I loved it.
No, I thought it was stupid. It's funny because this is a very unpopular opinion. I think you might be one
totally
of the
joking
only people.
around. I'm joking around. yeah. I was tweeting how bad it was while I was happening.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
Poor Sami Zayn, he knew it too, and you would think they would have learned their lesson with Alexa Bliss This Is Your Life, but it seems they did not, and it was embarrassing for Sami. And again, like I was telling, and J-Bomb has a lot of expectations for Sami Zayn. He thinks he's doing his best work, and he is on the mic. He's been great. He made the best out of what he had. But when it comes down to it, like I said to J-Bomb last week, this story between the two of them, he is Bobby Lashley fodder. Sami Zayn right now is doing the Dolph Ziggler thing where he's helping getting somebody over. And that's all that's going to be going on here. So, for the next weeks to come, we're going to see these segments. Hopefully, it can't get much worse. So, but man, oh man, was that painful. And I was actually like, what are they going to do with this? How are they going to bring her sisters on TV? And I thought I gave maybe them too much credit. And I was like, they're going to do something innovative. But no, it was like, oh my God, they just did. It's kind of in the same wheelhouse as bringing out a midget. It's just
little person.
Yeah, I'm sorry, a little person. I'm sorry.
Do you know if Bobby Lashley actually has sisters, or what's the deal?
I don't know. Apparently, you can see on Facebook, according to Sami Zayn. But I'm guessing he does. His stories are probably true.
So why not bring out, even if it's not really Bobby Lashley's sister, bring out 3 of them and just throw one through a table?
Well, wouldn't it be cool if at the pay-per-view, Bobby Lashley has his 3 sisters at ringside, and then he throws Sami Zayn over the barrier, and they just bitch slap him and beat the crap out of him and then throw him back in. It'd be hilarious to see him get beat down by 3 sisters.
Would it be worth that segment to get that payout?
I think it would be something to add to the whole thing.
I think so.
At least give us something out of it.
After that, I mean.
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty bad. I was expecting to see Bobby Lashley lift one of them up in a vertical suplex and accidentally drop them on their head.
Yeah. So who were the sisters? We were talking about this before we started recording.
Yeah, so they're sisters. Well, obviously, when WWE is looking to bring somebody in, usually they use independent wrestlers, one being Victor Andrews. He's super excited, was super happy to do the job. He's the one who got that nasty, 10-foot spine buster from Bobby Lashley. And then we have the Creative Pro Wrestling Academy's Max Caster. The third person, we don't know who it is. It hasn't been released, nor do I care too much to find out. So those are just notes that I picked up along the way.
So what else? Okay, we obviously went over the 2 things that we didn't really enjoy about Raw. Was there anything on Raw this week that you did enjoy?
Well, I think there's something on Raw that everybody did enjoy, and they've been enjoying it every week. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if it means they're really into this segment or it's just everything else is so poor, this is the highlight of their night. And this is the B Team picking up another win against Breezango. So it wasn't a fluke. They did it 2 weeks in a row, and then I think the only thing is I'm not down with their finisher, the neck breaker. They do a backdrop neck breaker.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a generic tag team move that you would have had in SmackDown versus Raw, you know?
Yeah,
Like, come on.
I feel you. I don't think they're there for their movesets, to be honest. So I'm cool with
Come up
it.
with something neat. You know, they could do like the perfect plex into like, you know, a spin or, you know, I don't know.
Do you remember what IRS's finisher was?
Yeah, the write-off. He did the clothesline from hell.
Holy shit. I was not expecting you to know that. Are you freaking kidding me? That's literally what it was?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, okay.
Mike Rotunda, come on, man.
I guess you can't really merge those two moves, but whatever.
But,
you know what?
Yeah, they could do something, and maybe they'll get there. I'm sure they're not going to stick with that move forever because it is kind of lame. But they have been picking up wins, and it looks like they're feuding on social media with Matt Hardy going back and forth. So I'm looking forward to seeing Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt in the same ring together. Maybe it'll come to something. Who knows? But it looks like that's where it's headed. And I think people really like the celebration that these guys had.
Dude.
Jumping on the announce tables.
Yeah.
The chair, which is very similar to when Austin had the beer and he went down the chair and he fell over and they fell over and they're hugging each other and it's fun. It's exciting.
Magic,
so,
man.
It is, and it's a refreshing part of Raw. So that's what people enjoy, I guess, weekly now. The B team.
The B team
for
on
best
the A
friends.
show. Is that what they're using it for?
No,
Best friends?
but you can use the B with
It's
wherever you want. to use
best
it
team,
for.
the best team. I guess that Ronda Rousey Nia contract signing. Back to the shits.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, they went on social media and they broke kayfabe. They're standing on the red carpet, or so to say. Stephanie McMahon's there. Charlotte's there. She challenges Ronda Rousey for the title. You can tell it's a promo because Ronda Rousey's very awkward and talks very quietly in her promos as usual. And here she comes. She's the number one contender, folks. So they do the contract signing this week. Stephanie McMahon's there. Her arm is much better, but she's playing the troll, the antagonizer. She's trying to find out, you know, trying to stir the pot, what's going on, and somehow sets Nia Jax off to kind of become a bully, right? Now she's a bad guy. I wouldn't say she's bully yet, but let's see where she goes next week. She definitely took steps towards the heel side this week, and it's kind of funny coming off of WrestleMania, talking about, you know, bullies and trying to stand up and be like, you know, believe in yourself. And she took a real face turn, and they're immediately going to put her back as a heel. I'm okay with her being a heel because I think she can be a good heel, but it just kind of...
She's not a good face.
She's definitely... Well, she's just being genuine and she's nice and, you know, whatever.
Who
cool.
wants to see Nia
She's better
Jax
suited she's better suited as a heel, and she can be a good heel. So I'm okay with her going back to being one, but I just think the whole WrestleMania thing, it's just it's a hypocrisy. I mean, like, come on, it's just completely a hypocrite of them to do that and make her a bully now. But whatever, we'll see. I really do feel like the Money in the Bank match could very well play into this match, but at the same time, we don't know. It could also play into the Women's SmackDown match. So
Yeah, that's true.
we'll see. But we did see Natty qualify this week, right? She was in a match against the Riot Squad, two members of the Riot Squad and Dana Brooke. She picked up the win with the sharpshooter on Sarah Logan. It was nice. It looked like it was going to bend her in half. And she picked up a win. So she will be in this match. I was a bit surprised Natty's in this match, but looking at the other people in the match, I'm not surprised that they didn't go with her. But again, we've been talking about Natty and how this whole thing is going to work with Ronda Rousey. So who knows? Maybe Natalya's going to put herself into this match and make it a three-way, steal some spotlight, or, you know, maybe Ronda's going to win and Natty's going to come down and steal it from her. Like, who knows? What do you think's going to happen?
Well, there's a million things that could happen. You can listen to the 10 count because we discussed the hell out of it, and I'm assuming we're probably going to do a prediction show for it. What do I think is going to happen? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a clean Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey match. So you got to think that the Money in the Bank somehow is going to, you know, make its way into that.
I don't
matchup
see
as well.
Ronda winning the title this soon. Her being in a title match is one thing, but I'm pretty sure she's not going to win the title.
I wouldn't put it past them to put the title on her. I don't think it would be the greatest thing, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see, eh?
Unless they're really going to fast forward for this whole Shayna Baszler thing and the Four Horsewomen.
You got to think Four Horsewomen is going to come at Survivor Series.
Right, but they don't need to rush that. They
No,
should
Survivor
do
Series is like in
Rousey
November.
versus Charlotte next year. And then the year after that, do the Four Horsewomen.
No, they could do the Four Horsewomen in this Survivor Series. You don't think so?
See. I don't know. It depends how fast they want to rush things. I think they can play some things out with it a little bit first. Maybe they could do it before Charlotte versus Ronda, but then again, they'll be in the ring if it's the 4 horsewomen. So.
Yeah, no, I got to think that they're going to do it before that one because Survivor Series is like a write-off, right? It's like a major 4, but the storylines never really make sense or carry over in any sense. So they might just have like a short program leading up to Survivor Series where it's 4 versus 4, and then you get to the first, taste of Charlotte versus Ronda. It can come down to the two of them, and then they square off finally at WrestleMania 35. Because 35's got to be big. It's got to be big.
And at that point, it might be like champion versus champion or something like that.
Oh, totally.
One's on SmackDown.
It's like a grudge
champion
match.
versus champion. You lose a women's championship match, but having those two wrestle each other for a title, or at least having both the titles there, would be awesome. So that would be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that. That's a championship match I can get behind. A championship match, I don't know if I can. Would be the tag team championship match on Raw. On SmackDown. This week we saw the Usos against the Good Brothers, right, for the number 1 contendership. And then we see the Good Brothers actually beat the Usos, right?
Oh, they did? Holy shit,
yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah, they beat the Usos. Luke Gallows he got the splash from the top rope. He kicked out. He got a super kick, which he no-sold. Then he super kicked one of the Usos, and they did their finisher on him, and they pinned him. So now they're going against the Bludgeon Brothers. So it's going to be the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Good Brothers. Hey, it's brothers versus brothers.
Is it? Well, and so are the Usos. Are they actually calling them the Good Brothers?
No, I'm calling them that because they don't really have a tag team name.
They don't call them the Club anymore?
I guess we could, but I mean, they don't really use the Club too much unless AJ's involved, or Balor's involved. But again, this tag team match, and I know it's not really a noteworthy thing to talk about on the podcast because it was so kind of minimal. But to me, kind of puts a question mark next to like what's next for the Usos because they kind of were taken out of the tag team title picture right now for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while.
So what does that mean for the Usos? I ultimately think that the Good Brothers, the Club, or whatever you want to call them, they're obviously going to lose against the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that it's just a fodder, to make them look stronger, and they'll go on to something else. I think Sanity will be the ones that come in and take those titles.
Damn. You know what? Sanity might even show up during that match.
Who knows?
They might even show up. You mentioned it's not noteworthy. I guess before we get really into the nitty-gritty of SmackDown, we got to mention something else that happened at Raw. If you were following us on social media, we kind of got into a little battle with Bully Ray.
Yeah, we did. Clearly, all of us.
I think it might have been Drunk J-Bomb over here, but if you didn't see what happened, they were talking about the $1 billion contract with SmackDown Live. Some dude just wrote out, I don't even know if it was directly to Bully, but just said that, maybe we're going to get an edgier product. Bully kind of condescendingly told him like, oh yeah, you signed for $1 billion and then you're going to change your product. Long story short, I called him out. I probably pushed a couple too many little buttons for him, but I thought he can take it because, if you listen to his show on Busted Open on Sirius, he kind of gives it to his callers. So I thought it was being playful. He didn't take it well. Blocked us immediately. I had a shit fit because I was wasted.
Yeah, thanks for that, J-Bomb.
Yeah, so our apologies to anybody we offended, if there was any offense taken. But ultimately, I expected more from Bully, so it is what it is.
So that's that, folks. Yeah, I was sitting there, I was watching Raw, I saw the mentions exploding, and I didn't know what was going on. And then I saw you going into it with him, and I was like, damn! Now, I'm not very familiar with his podcast, so I don't really know.
It's not even a podcast. It's a radio show. Like
a radio show.
3 hours a day. And he shit talks the WWE. He shit talks,
I know. And I know he's got a bit of an ego, and he thinks he was ECW, and he thinks he was the Holy Grail, or he's really high in himself. I know that. Right? He almost gives himself lots of credit.
He almost takes credit for the Attitude Era. And that's where I draw the line. And I don't want to talk about this anymore. I threw out a tweet, and I said, this is the end.
And this is the end, folks.
And this is, I'm like 75% behind myself and 25% embarrassed for my actions. So.
That's as close as it gets to J-Bomb saying he's sorry, tucking his tail between his legs and moving on. Yeah. He got us blocked by Bully Ray.
It's a shame.
Out of the two of us, he's the first person who got it. On my real social media, on my main one, I got blocked by Scott Hall.
No, we're blocked by JBL. Been a long time.
Oh, are we? Yeah, but that's
yeah,
almost like you got it, right? You got to put that on your check mark.
I feel like everybody, that's like a passage on Twitter. You're like, oh, you got a Twitter account? Yeah, how many followers? Yeah, are you blocked by JBL?
You got to be.
You got to be.
What did we? I don't even know what we said to him, but
I think I called him a bully.
I think that's about 90% of the tweets that he gets, right?
Yeah, he's a shithead anyways.
All right. Getting to SmackDown. We're moving on. We said it was the end. That's the end. Difference of opinions. Miz TV opens up SmackDown, and I was excited for this because we heard that we were going to find out who the New Day is going to select to go into Money in the Bank. And I was pissed because we didn't find out.
Hold on. It was a great segment.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was a pretty good segment. I thought the chemistry was good, back and forth. And
the shame pancakes were like, if pancakes were getting stale, that brought it right back. If they start shaming people with pancakes, I could take another couple weeks of that.
Yeah, and then also when Big E was fighting The Miz, they had him like go in the corner and like instead of putting water in his mouth, they put like maple syrup and they wiped his face with a pancake. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool too. And so we still don't know who's going to be going into the Money in the Bank. It could be Xavier, it could be Kofi Kingston, and it could be Big E. The fact that Big E fought Miz this week and lost kind of makes me feel like it may not be Big E now because he's not as believable as beating The Miz. I might be thinking too much into it, but at the same time, I'm hoping that it's going to be Kofi Kingston. I'm okay with Xavier as well, too. Big E would be my last pick.
You really fucking hate me, eh?
I don't hate you. I don't hate Big E, but I just feel like he's a bit slower, a bit clunkier. He's funnier and more animated. But in terms of who I like to watch wrestling and who I like their personality and their character, I don't dislike Big E, but I'm just putting them on a list. And Big E is on the bottom of that list.
Oh, God.
He's the big ending of that list.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yes, it seems like they're going to drag it on. We don't know who's going to be in that Money in the Bank match, and maybe we'll find out next week, or maybe we'll find out right before the match starts.
I think it'll be right before the match starts. That's my prediction. I'm still sticking to my guns. This is the beginning of the breakup of the New Day. I'm interested. I was extremely frustrated that we didn't. I really wanted to know, but.
That's the whole point, right? They want you to tune in next week. Maybe you'll find out.
Yeah, I'll give it to them. It was a good segment nonetheless. So
It was. And, we've been dealing with a lot of segments, I guess, that kind of sometimes don't make sense. They're going in no direction. You don't know what's going on. And one of those to me, I guess, is what's going on with Big Cass. I mean, he came back, made this big deal of it all. He went on the European tour. He kept getting his matches stopped, or he had to get help in the back. He was limping, favoring his knee, selling the injury, I guess, that Daniel Bryan did to him. So a lot of people are wondering, like, is he hurt? Is he not? Well, clearly he's obviously faking it, but apparently he's limping backstage. When he's seen in public, he's been limping. So he's really playing the part well, or his knee did get tweaked. I do feel like he's probably okay. There was a rumor going around that Big Cass got some backstage heat because of the segment with the little person. I got it right that time.
Oh, yes, you did, yeah.
And basically the fact that he did the big boot, but then he did the ground and pound where he went on top of him and started pounding him. And apparently that was a no-no backstage. And, we thought that was kind of silly. Like, come on, you can't be in any trouble because of that. But it was interesting. I was listening to Sean Waltman, better known as X-Pac, this week, and he was talking about how it's good to go out there and make yourself stand out.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing: there's kind of an unwritten code where like just don't ask, and you can do it and get yelled at afterwards. But the fact is, he actually asked and said, "Can I beat up the midget?" They said no, and he did it anyway.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission and then do it anyways. I think that's saying.
That's exactly what he said. I think that's exactly what Sean or X-Pac had said. Yeah. So that's it. He kind of went into business for himself. He didn't listen to them, so he's been doghouse at least a little bit. And X-Pac went on to say, like, sometimes they put people in the doghouse so long they forget why they were in the doghouse to begin with. So we'll see. It's definitely not a good sign for Cass, but we'll see. Next week we're gonna have Daniel Bryan taking on Samoa Joe, and if Cass is involved in that match, costs Daniel Bryan the match, Who knows? Maybe they're going to continue Cass and Daniel Bryan. It kind of makes sense to me because then Samoa has nothing for Money in the Bank if Daniel goes forward. I thought they were having a Daniel Bryan and Big Cass feud, but we shall see. But for now, I think the WWE is a little bit like with him. And all we saw this week was him walking around with crutches for about 12 seconds.
Good.
That's how much he was on SmackDown.
I'm back and forth on Cass. I can see him every couple weeks, and I'd be pretty happy. But I got to ask you something. We saw, I guess, the in-ring return to Lana this week, and I was
call it that.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Where she lacks her in-ring talent, I gotta say, dude, and I wanted your opinion on this. I thought it was one of the better segments of the entire SmackDown show. Like, Aiden English was awesome. Lana, okay, so it's clear that she's a face now, right? Like, it's got to be.
So, yes, she's definitely leaning towards the face side. However, when she did come out a week or two ago when we were in Montreal and said, something's holding you back, it seems like Lana's going to be the one to side with Rusev to make him make that cut, and then she's going to be viewed as a heel. She's going to kind of be the bad person.
Right.
Unless they both go out as being heels. Who knows? WWE could scrap the plans and keep the three of them together.
You know what? I think that they either scrapped it or they're just saying, like, okay, no, we're gonna run with this a little bit longer than we had anticipated. Because personally, I think a return to being the Bulgarian Brute with Lana telling him to crush, I think it's the wrong move for them. I mean, come on, like, you gotta. If they did break up with Aiden English, they have to continue Rusev Day without him, or at least face Rusev without him. But dude, new gear, new entrance, that Lana sign was freaking perfect. And I don't know if you noticed, but her singlet or whatever you want to call it, it was a giant vagina.
I have to go back and look.
Yeah, dude.
We'll post it on Twitter after,
yeah.
or you'll have it on Twitter. You can go back and reference it. So by the time this comes out, that will be up there for sure.
It was like a vagina with a mini vagina inside of it, and I was
oh my god, a vagina within a vagina.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. Lana. It was like a puzzle, and I'm sitting there going like, whoever made this had to have been like, I'm gonna put a vagina on TV, and no one's going to freaking notice.
And get away with it?
Yeah, you can get away with it. That's it. But I loved it, man. Did you enjoy it? Like, I know there wasn't much of a fight, but...
Well, I think that's it. I mean, I'm going to pick apart the one little thing that bothered me, and it was the fact that it wasn't an actual wrestling match. It was pretty much just like a finisher. And she uses the finisher that I hate.
The worst.
The one that all the women get. The face buster. And I'm sorry, Xbox. X-Pac, I know that. I called him Xbox, I think. X-Pac. Sorry, I'm a gamer. I work in the video game industry for a living. So
you also called Kofi Kingston Coffee Kingston earlier. I didn't point it out.
I used the Jamaican accent on the O.
Oh, okay, yeah. Xbox, yeah.
But yeah, no, okay. The segment was good. It was, I'll agree with you, one of the best of SmackDown. The thing that makes this really cool is the crowd is really behind this. They're really behind Rusev Day. If they're to break up Rusev Day, they're stupid because they're making merchandise off of it. Why would they want to kill this? So to me, it's silly. I don't know if it's a whole Rusev invented it, so WWE doesn't want it to succeed. They want to control it kind of deal. I don't think so. I think that's being a bit paranoid. But it would be really silly to break it up. Those three can do good things together. What happens to Aiden after? It's not going to be good for his career. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. Maybe he'll go up the mid-card, do some cool stuff. But I think it really helps him out. He's worked his ass off.
Dude,
he deserves to be a part of this.
He made that match what it was. Like,
he made that match so much better. Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. Where the hell was Rusev? He wasn't even on SmackDown this week as far as I recall.
I know they alluded to him being in Bulgaria. You got to think that for whatever reasons he wasn't there. But I don't know, man. Like, there was just so much excitement and energy in that segment, and you just felt it. The fans were super loud, man. Like, super loud. And I thought
she was
Lana
genuinely happy you saw her. So
she was.
Her.
Yeah, good for her.
Good for her. And I don't know if she's lost the accent entirely. It comes back
you know what I noticed?
Weird.
It's every time she says Rusev's name, like even on Total Divas, she rolls her R because that's just like how she says his name, and then like the 2 or 3 words following it, almost to a full sentence after, is in some weird ass freaking Russian accent.
She's doing a terrible job at phasing this out.
Yeah, she's bad.
Yeah, but whatever, man. It's cool to see. I mean, I'm really interested to see her in a ladder match. Hell, what's Lana gonna do in a ladder match?
I think she's gonna win it, man. Like, there's a
I
part
really
of me
hope
that thinks
not. I really
she's gonna
hope
win it.
not, because like honestly, like I know she didn't wrestle this week, but she can't hide behind these little segments every week. Eventually, if she wants to be a champion, she needs to wrestle full matches, one-on-one matches, and put on good matches. She's definitely not there, unless she's been taking secret classes and is going to blow us away. But I thought it was pretty. I don't like that finisher, man. Give her something, man. Give her something. Give her the accolade.
Were you happy that Billy Kay got buried?
I don't like Billy Kay very much. I wouldn't say that. I don't dislike them. I get what they're supposed to be.
I'm annoyed by them, though, already.
I know, but that's what they're supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah, but no, annoyed by them being... Annoyed by them trying to annoy me. Like, it's not even like, haha, I like to be annoyed by them. I'm literally like, ugh.
They remind me of, and this is weird, I don't know where it's coming from, but like two like Disney antagonists. These two like birds that come out and they're just like sitting on a like a telephone pole or something, and they're just like shooting out comments, you know, kind of like those two guys from the Muppets, those old guys, and they're just like saying sarcastic comments. And if you guys had watched it close to a decade ago, Alay Cool, Michelle McCool, Layla is exactly the same thing, and it's the Mean Girls thing. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know, whatever. I guess it's entertaining to some. Some like them. I don't hate them.
I like their first few
promos. It's not my
promos.
cup of tea.
Their first few promos were good. When they made fun of... who was the first they made fun of it? Was it Charlotte or was it Becky? They nailed it. It was good. It was hilarious. And then they never did a good one again after that. And they just go a little bit too much.
The singing this week was painful, too.
The singing was okay. It's when they face each other and they laugh and they giggle and they're like, oh, you said this and you said... Oh, it's just... Take it down a notch. Like, they're overacting. Like,
That's it. I think so, too.
The mic
I think
is too
if they
close to the
scale it
mouth,
back,
you know?
yeah, they scale it back like 15-20%. I think it could be a lot more, I guess, endurable or durable, more enduring.
More
bearable.
More bearable.
Bearable.
Yeah,
There's the word I was
bearable.
looking for.
Bearable. So, where is that going to bring us to? Well, we got to talk about Cien Almas. Because we saw him again.
Right, because you're a big Cien Almas fan.
Yeah.
You know, we were looking forward to his debut for quite some time. We finally have it. It's not for a title. It's not the Money in the Bank match. It's Jobber. And then this week, another Jobber.
Jobber number 2. And I'm sick of seeing it. I get it. I would like to point out that Cien Almas, whoever cuts that guy's hair gives him the sweetest fucking fade. And there's no homo on that, but whoever cuts his hair
have nice hair.
does such a good job on it. And that's going to come across really weird. But
it's kind of stupid. He cuts a promo about, like, this is the guy he had to face, and, like, this is ridiculous. And he goes out and fights on a Jobber. I think the WWE would give him somebody. Give him R-Truth.
He kicked the shit out of that guy.
He did. He kicked the shit out of him.
Like the
when
shit.
He did the knee to the back of the head in the corner. Yeah, man,
dude,
that's a dangerous move, man.
Yeah,
that's a dangerous move.
I love it.
But this is it for me. This is where I draw my line. I'm okay with it this week. Fair enough. But I do want to see a third week with a Jobber. Make it somebody at least mid-card. Give R-Truth a freaking match. You know, something, man. So I'm kind of right on the edge of, like, okay, come on, man. Like, give this guy something.
Okay, it's only 2. Like, I get it. And I think he's one of the special ones that have come up, and I think that they shouldn't be wasting his time with this. So I get you on that one. I do. If he kicks the shit out of the third guy worse than he kicked the shit out of that dude, I'll take one more. Because, like, the way he finished him, I was like, oh, that guy's fucking dead.
The guy sold that DDT like a champ, though.
It's so good.
He
Whoever that dude is, good for him.
He just ate the mat. He just ate the mat.
He ate it. And there was one point where he like looked like he kind of like Cien kind of screwed up his timing, and then he flew like a spinning elbow.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure he like. It looked like that guy was fucked. Like the ref was like, "Holy shit!"
It looks like they go in against jobbers and they just be rough, and they're like, "I don't care. Who's this fucking guy?
You're gonna earn this."
Yeah. He's gonna beat you. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it.
So, yeah, not exactly the start we want, but at the same time, it's good to see him on SmackDown and good to see the aggression. At least there is a presence. One thing that surprised me this week, a little bit of a lack of presence by your women's champion on SmackDown, Carmella.
That segue was too much, Des. Well done. Well done, but I just had to point that one out.
But yeah, I mean, she's wearing the Asuka mask. You know, she talks about how she'll beat Asuka. She does some kind of weird math equation in her head that, you know, Charlotte beat Asuka. She beat Charlotte twice, so that means that she can beat Asuka. And I don't know. I mean, again, you know, I know this match is going to be a count out, a disqualification or something, but nothing. She wasn't on the card. This is your champion. And there was no Asuka at all on SmackDown. So me being an Asuka fan, that was a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I like the. I thought it was pretty cool that she had the mask there with like the grill. I thought it was cool.
So was that it? I saw it up close and
Yeah.
I was like, it's weird that she has the silver teeth. Is that what it really looks like up close? It actually was wearing a grill?
Well, she trashed it up. She made it more Staten Islandy, you know.
I didn't even pick up on
You know what I
that.
mean? I can't do an accent. I don't know what the hell that was.
Boo.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But I think it was enough after the celebrations that we had. She had back-to-back big segments on SmackDown. I think they needed a lot of time for Nakamura and AJ. And
At least 10 seconds.
what's that?
At least 10 seconds.
The extra 10 seconds, yeah. I would have liked to have moonwalked twice. I think when they did that the other day with the Iconics, it was gold.
Yeah, that
It
was
should be
cool.
her
Yeah, and
thing.
then she came back. Like, oh, she's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there she goes. Oh, she's
Yeah.
coming back.
I liked
funny.
the whole AJ Nakamura thing.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, it's cool and all. I think the whole, like, you know, he's playing, like, he doesn't understand, but he doesn't understand.
Yeah, it's good.
And hell, man, when we said pillow fight, first of all, like, obviously half the people didn't hear what he said.
Yeah, thank God AJ cleared that up.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's AJ Styles came to the rescue, right?
Yeah.
He knew what he knew what to do. But the fans, they were kind of like, no, yeah, no, yes, no,
They're
maybe,
like, what's a
maybe. They're like,
pillow?
maybe. So imagine that. Imagine that's what he picked, and he just screws with us, and he just seriously goes out and just beats the crap out of him with pillow. Like, that would be stupid, yeah. But I mean,
It'd be pretty
I guess it was
stupid, but
kinda
it'd be
funny.
good. It'd be good.
But I thought he was going to be like, no, it's like, I don't want a pillow fight, you know, and I don't just want your title. I want to take something more from you. I want to take your pride. He's like, I'm going to take your hair.
Oh, you were hoping for the hair, eh? You're hoping for the hair?
Yeah, I was hoping. And it kind of seemed like they were going to do a new stipulation or something different, the way he was talking. And then when he gets outside the ring and he starts counting right away, I'm like, oh, that's it, man.
Yeah, and they
That's how
counted twice.
Yeah.
The double
Yeah.
count was a little bit much. And then when he was like, last man, then he like chokes on his mouth guard. Did you notice that?
Yeah, his mouth guard came out. It came off of his teeth.
Poor
I thought
guy.
that was pretty silly. But again, yeah, you're getting a last man standing match. It's
Yep.
going to be interesting because, you know, they had a hard time for a long time keeping Shinsuke down for 3 seconds. Can they do it for 10? And then it's funny because you see him get the Kinshasa to the head one time and he's down for 10, but you know he'll get it like twice and he'll be up at 7.
That was
Money in
his,
the Bank.
AJ sold that so well.
Yeah,
had a
he sold
backflip
it. He
from
sold
his
it
knees.
fantastically, like a champ. But it's going to be cool to see. How much punishment are they going to have to bring to one another to stay down for the 10 count?
What if it's another double nut shot 10 count?
You know what's stupid now? You tell me that, and then a light bulb goes off in my head. Like, that pretty much is what happened last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Where they kicked each other in the balls and couldn't get up for a 10 count.
Yeah.
Oh my god, imagine they troll us and they do it again.
I'd take it, man.
Yeah, I think that would be like, fuck you.
But
piece of shit.
you know what though? There hasn't been a big title change in a little while now. I know that they're going to do everything they can to make Money in the Bank, you know, the 5th big pay-per-view. With all the news that's going out with the $1 billion deal on SmackDown, them announcing that they're 4-hour pay-per-views and all that stuff, you got to think, well, Brock Lesnar's not on the card, so you got to think there's going to be a big title change or at least a payoff. And I think we're going to see it. I don't think we're going to see a double nut shot. I think that they're going to tease it. There'll be a double nut shot 9 count. Yeah,
There
that's
will
what
be a
they're gonna
double
do.
nut shot. Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Because WWE can't let something just rest. They're going to have to milk the shit out of it.
I'm okay with that, though.
I don't know. I mean,
Every
I'll give them
day-
one.
Every day that we get further from the feeling and the disappointment of the no payoff of that match, I like it more and more that it was a double nut shot, double 10 count. It was perfect.
I don't think it was the worst way they could have ended the match, and it was new, so...
But in the moment, we were both like, what? Are you serious? Like, our initial reactions were pretty like, This is bullshit. But like, it's gold. It was well done. I'll give it
And
to
it
him.
might be the pay-per-view finally where they decide to give the title to Nakamura. Because what? He had so many matches with Jinder Mahal, now AJ Styles. He hasn't been able to win the big one. This might be it. Who knows? But then again, the whole stipulation and the whole question mark in this pay-per-view is we have all these Money in the Bank matchups that it could totally change the outcome of any one of these title matches. So it's pretty exciting. Nakamura could win it, and then it could slip through his fingers instantly.
Money in the Bank is shaping up to be a pretty good pay-per-view.
Pretty decent, yeah. I think the Roman Reigns, Jinder Mahal, but if we're lucky enough with 4-hour pay-per-views, maybe it'll be on the pre-card.
You know what? Roman Reigns, Jinder Mahal, I'm probably more excited for this match than I was Roman and Joe. I'm probably more excited for this match than I was Brock Lesnar at Greatest Royal Rumble, and probably even Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Here's a spoiler. They're going to feud. They're going to fight. Roman's going to take it to Jinder. Jinder's going to get a bunch of like aggression. One of the Singh brothers is going to get involved. He'll hurt Roman. They'll get some close false finishes. The Singh brother will get kicked out of the ring, and then Jinder Mahal will do Roman Reigns will do a comeback, and he will beat Jinder Mahal. Spoiler. Go to the bathroom, eat your chips, go have a beer, save yourself some time.
And I can't get over.
Jinder will.
Oh, it'd be cool. I'd love to see him pick up a win. If it was dirty win, roll up, whatever, give Jinder one roll up at least, and not a fruit roll up.
I don't know, man. I feel like we're on that bubble, we're on that cusp where we're going to see a change in the direction for.
I hope so. I'm down. I would love to see it. I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too.
And we're talking about big changes, right? We're just talking about the pay-per-views now. They're going to be going 4 hours now. So to me, it didn't seem like a big change because they had the pre-card or they had the kickoff show. So does that mean the kickoff show is going
6
earlier?
o'clock.
So it's 5 hours?
6
So
o'clock
technically
kickoff
be
show.
5 hours, the pay-per-view?
Yeah, but I mean, the kickoff show is freaking, honestly, if you want to enjoy the pay-per-view, I highly suggest never watching the kickoff show because for one, they literally go match by match showing you the like video package that you will see before the match. And that's just horrible. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you, like, those video packages are friggin' awesome. Why would you give that away before?
I guess because they hired somebody who spent a lot of time doing it, put together this epic package, and it's nice to show it more than once.
Did you say epic package?
Epic package.
Yeah, but I don't want to see it twice. I want to see it right before the match so that I'm instantly invested in the match. Don't you think?
No, I get your logic, and I mean, I guess fair enough. But some people like to tune in, they like to see the pre-match, the leads out, they like to see who's on the panel. So
That
I mean,
panel
I
is
don't know.
horrible.
Usually
horrible.
it is.
Booker T is terrible. Who's the other dude that's married to Hudson?
Oh, David Otunga.
What the hell is that guy
I
doing?
believe they're separated now, or on middle, or getting a divorce.
I don't mind when the King is there. When the King is there, I'm usually like, I like the King. I enjoy him. Sam Roberts, I love him on Sirius. Sam and Jim show, or Jim and Sam, I love it. Do I love him with WWE coverage? Not so much. But Sam Rosenberg, or no, the other one, what's the other guy's name?
Paul.
That guy's shit.
We're making no friends today, folks.
Oh, come on. I'm gonna be straight up. He's shit.
There you go. J-Bomb tells you like it is, as you saw this week, right?
Yeah.
This guy's just he's a straight shooter.
Straight shooter. Cha-cha-cha.
Straight shooter. Well, another big piece of news. We're not just talking about the pay-per-views going 4 hours. J-Bomb mentioned earlier SmackDown to Fox. So apparently it's almost but official, and it's $1 billion deal.
It's official.
And-
It's official.
Well,
It's
I
official.
guess. An
October
offer's been made, I
2009
believe.
No.
Yeah, it's
Signed.
been signed. It's
Yeah.
everything. On the dotted line?
2019 October.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's happening?
It's happening. Yeah.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
Hey? Huh? So there you have it, folks. Fox.
That's
Friday.
a long bite. Sorry.
October 2019.
Yeah.
So about a year and a couple months, you'll be seeing SmackDown on Fox. That's going to be strange.
Yeah, and
Very interesting to watch.
I tuned in to Bust It Open because I wanted to hear bully shit talk, and he wasn't on it. It was Mark Henry and David LaGreca, and they were talking about, maybe we're going to see the product go a little bit edgier because it's on Fox. And they brought up some good points because Fox is trying to make that transition to being a little bit more family friendly. Wow, family friendly.
I wouldn't think so. If anything, it's going to be worse.
Well, that's it, right? But here's the catch. They thought if SmackDown could be more cookie cutter, then maybe the Raw product would be more Raw, because you have to think that with a $1 billion deal, and if being on network television for the first time, this is a major channel. This is like NFL. What else do they do on there? They must do baseball and shit. We're Canadian. We don't watch these sports. But it's a major, major network.
American Idol.
I don't think that exists anymore, bro.
Yeah, I know it's back.
God.
Back this year. Yeah,
but you got to imagine that they're going to want Ronda Rousey. They're going to want Roman Reigns. They're going to want the bigger names to be on that product. Think about it.
So what? So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different possibilities
no, but
there.
I'm saying most people think, hey, it's going to Fox. Maybe they're going to have an edgier product. But I think it might result in Raw being somewhat of the edgier product of the two. I mean, we saw Bobby Lashley beat up some cross-dressers this week. That was
yeah, but you know what though? Now it all ties together with me, folks. So here's the thing: we were complaining, or I was talking about earlier. People might complain that the people who played Bobby Lashley's sisters were men, right? But now it totally makes sense because Bobby Lashley came in and destroyed them, and he couldn't destroy them if they were women.
Of course not.
So now it completely makes sense. That's exactly why they went with men.
Dude, did you just figure that out now?
Yes. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not the sharpest tool in the Canadian tool shed.
You're normally sharper, Des. You're normally sharper.
Well, I was just so fixated on, like, what? This is not believable. You're putting a man dressed as a woman. But to me, it's like, okay, I guess, because he's going to beat them up. So it makes sense now.
So that pretty much wraps up everything from the week as far as SmackDown and Raw goes. We do have some news about the podcast, though. We had a really good week, dude. We have experienced the most downloads that we've ever gotten in a week.
Woo!
Yeah. Our contributor, Justin S. Roberge, if you're not following him on Twitter, at Justin S. Roberge, had an interview with Mike Quackenbush from Chikara Wrestling. It is freaking interesting, man. Like, what's cool is if you're an indie guy, you're going to love it. If you're a WWE guy, you're going to love it because he talks about his time at the WWE Performance Center, and he really gives... I was really surprised to hear what he had to say about it. And I'm not going to spoil it, but I think anybody who thinks that WWE is a watered-down sports entertainment first type of company from the ground up, I mean, like right when they get in the Performance Center, I think you got to listen to the interview because it might change your mind. It was interesting, and I congratulate Justin for landing that, and it's freaking huge, man. It was really, really, really interesting podcast to listen to.
And more exciting news this week, folks. The Pro Wrestling Tee journey continues.
What a process.
We got it's a hell of a process.
I keep thinking it's going to be here, and then we find out.
We've been teasing it. And folks, I mean, it's not even in it's in our hands now, but I mean, we actually have the shop, but again, they're setting things up. We've submitted our designs, which you have seen them on our social media. If you haven't, check them out at _Talkamania. We have them posted up there. Some beautiful designs, and J-Bomb and I are currently working on a new fourth design. We're really excited. We hope you guys are going to like it. Remember, Jay and I are fans from the 80s, the 90s. You could say we're retro fans.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of inspiration there, folks. But we'll be releasing that new design soon. I won't say more than that. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a pretty exciting piece of news. So hopefully soon we'll be ready to go, and you can get your hands on some awesome Talkamania merch.
And then when we think we're ready to go, we're probably going to get hit with another 1 to 2 week delay from PWP to PWT. It's probably not the best idea that we did it now with everything that's going with All In and with CM Punk and all that garbage. Again, screw you, CM Punk. I don't get the hype. That's what I'm going with here. So that's going
Hi,
to...
CM Punk.
Hi,
You're okay.
Whatever.
You're okay.
So that's another one in the bag. Covered everything we had to cover. Like Des mentioned, follow us on Twitter at _Talkamania. You're trying to tell me something right now, and I have no idea what it is, so I'm just going to ignore
I just
it.
want to tell you that I love all the Talkamaniacs out there. And we couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you for the support. As J-Bomb said, record numbers for us this week. Awesome interview. Follow Justin. Check it out. And keep listening. Keep subscribing.
Keep listening. We're just
helping
under
us grow.
4,000. Just under 4,000 followers. Let's hit 4,000 by Money in the
My
Bank.
next podcast. Maybe we'll
Next
hit
podcast.
4,000.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode. We'll be back again next week. Again, this is released every Thursday morning, so check it out. iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcast kicks, we're going to be there. For J-Bomb, I'm out. Des, say bye.
Lana is the best. Lana number one.
Lana is the best.
Suckers walk! Ugh.